SoCal Surf with Dan Nappy. Today at the cliffs, Huntington Beach, down north of the pier, about 1.5 miles, 2 miles. Lifeguard stand 24, and also known as the Flag and the Gap, depending on who you're talking to. There's several areas of the cliff, and the current is still going north, so we went in at the Flag, which is an American flag sitting in the middle of the cliffs, and there's a walkway down the cliff that you can take if you've got a little able to balance yourself on a cliff, so not real bad, pretty easy. And then we got in the water. It was smooth and glassy, but the waves were just not breaking. They were too small, and one set came in, and we took that, and then just drifted north for a while. And I sat for an hour without seeing a wave and just talking. So it was just too small to break outside. And we were approaching the cliffs. Approaching the gap, which is the gap between the two cliffs. And so I saw people catching shore breaks, so I moved in a lot closer. And then I started catching waves, but then they're just breaking right on the sand. And so you catch it, you drop, you make a bottom turn, then you got to pull out forward, not back, and the wave breaks behind you, and then you just jump off, and it's about waist to knee deep when you jump off. So real shallow, very tricky, dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. So you have to be real careful if you're going to run the shore break at Huntington, that's for sure. And so, so after that, I caught a couple, nice drops, but not much time. Real difficult to get to the edge or the corner where you can ride the face. And so it would break pretty quick on you, and you had to pull forward or jump off or bail, whatever you want to call it, to get out of the way of the, crashing under the sand. And you don't want to do that. It's not good for the board, and it's not good for you. But I got one that was pretty sweet. I got it, and it was what I call a lay-down barrel. It took off and just turned into the barrel, and it was pretty sweet riding down this tube for good ways, and then it started to fizzle out, and I just kind of pulled back. It started to reform, but I didn't pull back in time because I was laying down the whole time. I never stood up, and that I could have, but I was doing so well inside there that I didn't want to, so just stayed with the belly flop there and just rode that for a while. And then got out of it and paddled back out, had the duck under a couple of bigger sets that came in on the shore. Again, be real careful about that. But that was it. And then we paddled back out, and we tried to stay in that area, so we kept paddling south to stay at the gap, because that's the only place it was really breaking, and you get a little bit of a ride. So we were kind of desperate for some surf, so we stayed there, caught a few, sat and talked a lot more than surfed. But it wasn't windy, and it was real smooth, so it wasn't unpleasant. It was great to be in the ocean, just not very many waves that would come through, like I said, until we got into the shore break. But then there were some dolphins that came by, and when it's calm like that, it seems like they get a lot closer to you. And so some dolphins kind of popped on by and stayed for a second. Looks like they might have chased a couple of fish, I don't know. And then they moved on, we're gone. It's kind of cloudy, though. There was some blue spots above your head. So it's going to break up pretty quick here, I think. It's yesterday it stayed cloudy all day, and I didn't surf yesterday because it was windy and stormy. And the waves were so small they weren't breaking anywhere, not even at the pier. And I went to the pier on the camera. I looked at the pier this morning, and there was waves breaking, but the high school was there, and there were 100 people in the water, it seemed like. So every wave had 4 or 5 people on it. So that's why I went to the cliffs to see if we could find something that wasn't quite so crowded. And we did, but it was pretty sporadic, very small surf. And yesterday when it didn't surf, I went down to the pier to watch. And I was watching the high school and the kids and some of the newbies in the water, and it was entertaining. They would paddle sideways and get hammered by a wave, and then they'd get washed up onto the shore because the shore break was stronger there. And then they'd catch a wave and ride on their bellies, and then that was it. And then of course there's the better surfers that are outside, and there's quite a few of those. and boys and girls. So the Sky School's got some good surfers this year. So we'll see what the NSSA looks like as the school progresses. And that's about it. Pretty slow day at the pier. Managed to catch some waves. Caught one barrel on my stomach. It looks a lot bigger when you're laying down, but it was only about waist high. It wasn't very big, but it's pretty, like I said, it's my best ride of the day, even though I never stood up. It was a good ride. Longest one of the day, that's for sure. And so we had a pretty fairly good day today, just more social than surfing, so that's cool. And that's it. Surf's up, they say. And we'll see you tomorrow. Things are looking better. The tide's going to be, a little bit better tomorrow. So it could be good. Again, the water's still pretty pleasant. The air is nice. So high pressure's moving in. So I'm expecting some pretty good conditions here this week and the beginning of next week. So fingers crossed. We'll have some fun. See you out there. Thanks for listening. And then we'll see you out in the lineup. Thanks. Bye.